Hello and welcome to Chapter 7 of my Mimuna Tank videos. So in this chapter we're going to be looking through the dosing setup for the Vodka dosing system and talking through the various bits of equipment that I'm using for that. So first of all, just a bit about what level to dose at. So you need to run the nitrate reactor for at least 2 weeks to get the bacterial levels sort of established in there. And then really it's about doing things really slowly and carefully. So you need to be really careful about how much you dose and just slowly build that up. So if you start off with just dosing 1 ml a day and monitor the nitrate levels, I would then increase the dose by 1 ml per week and then slowly start spreading those doses throughout the day. So obviously if you've got 1 ml that you're doing in 8 in the morning, then you should be doing the other one at 8 in the evening, and then 3 and 4 and 5, etc. As the nitrate level gets down to the level that you want, then I would pause that dosing. So just sort of when you're above the level that you're aiming to get at, and I'll show a graph in a minute that explains this in a bit more detail. Then I would pause at the level that you're at, so keep dosing at the level, whatever that is, whether that's 4 ml or 6 ml, and then let it stabilise for 2 weeks. Then if you need the nitrate to drop further, then I'd increase the dose again by 1 ml and then again let it stabilise for 2 weeks. And that way you'll be able to control how the nitrate is dropping down, and you won't end up with excess ethanol in the water. I always try and keep it so I've got some nitrate level in the tank, albeit very low, normally sort of anywhere between 5, 1 and sort of half a milligram per litre, and that's really just to make sure that the vodka is actually being used up by the bacteria and you don't end up with excess vodka in the tank. We're dosing at quite low levels, so there isn't too much of a risk, but doing everything slowly and carefully is really important. So let's have a look at a graph of what this might look like to explain it a bit better. So if we started, say, at a nitrate level of 100 milligrams per litre, and then we start by dosing at 1 ml, and then you next week do it up to 2 ml and 3 ml, and you can see here at 4 ml the nitrate level has dropped down quite nicely, and therefore we can just stabilise at that 4 ml dosing, which we've done, and you can see the nitrate level sort of slowly drifts down, and then after 2 weeks, if we wanted to get it lower, then we can increase the level again. So in this case we've gone up to 5 ml, and again you see it drift slowly down again, and then finally we ramp up to 6 ml, and it goes down to half a milligram of nitrate per litre. So you normally get quite a sudden drop to begin with, and then it's normally slows down, and again it's about not making sure we don't end up with excess ethanol in the water, and hence why we're being more cautious as the levels get close to zero, because we don't want to overdose the tank. So that's how I'd run it in to get the stable levels. So what does it look like for my tank? Well, I'm dosing at 6 ml per day. I do that every 4 hours, and that's for a 220 litre tank. I reckon there's probably about 170 litres of actual water in that tank, and I get the nitrate level down to sort of 0.1, 0.2 milligrams per litre. Sometimes it rises a bit higher, but I don't worry too much about that, because it then generally falls back to the target level I'm trying to get it to fairly rapidly. You need to run a protein skimmer, otherwise you get this weird sort of like white substance that builds up and clogs up the filters and the pipes, which you just have to unclog if that's the case. Let's have a look at the doser. So this is the doser I'm using. I'll just switch the camera so we can actually read what's on the screen. But you can see the 6 buttons on the bottom of it, an enter button, escape button, and up, down and sideways. You've got 2 choices, so let's have a look at setting a program. You click enter, and then you can select the pump. So this has only got 2 pumps, but you can select which pump you want. I'm using pump 1, so nice and easy. And then how many times do you want to dose a day? So this is 6 times a day. You can go up to 24 times. The interval you need to have at 0. The manual says 1, but it should be 0. It means it doses every day. Change that to 1, it would be every other day. So this is the first dosing volume. So this and put that up to 1. I've actually got the midnight one at 0 at the moment, so that's midnight. So it's dose first, then time, and then the second one, so that's dose of 1 ml at 4, and then you can see a dose of 1 ml at 8, and if we click through, dose of 1 ml at 12, so this is every 4 hours to get the 6 doses in, and another 1 ml dose at 4 in the afternoon, and then another 1 ml dose at 8 in the evening, and then that obviously is the full time. So that's how you program it, nice and easy. No real difficulty in doing that. The other thing you can do, obviously, on this is you can set the time. So if you press that again, and then just press enter again, we'll go into the time and date program, and there you can change the time and date. So you've got the date first, and then you've got the time afterwards, so you can set the time and date. It drifts a little bit, but it's not too bad actually, so you can just keep an eye on it every now and then to make sure the time is correct. So that's it really. What we'll do is, and the next chapter is talk about the readings and how the nitrate levels, etc., are affected in the tank. So hopefully you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you for the next chapter, chapter 8. Take care. Goodbye.